The last topic that we are going to cover, children, in this chapter is applications of the tools of demand and supply. Now, this topic is going to let us know about the various practical usage of the tools of demand and supply. Why we are going to study about the practical application of the tools of demand and supply? Because what we have studied till now in this chapter, they were talking about the usage of the pre-decided format of demand and supply tools in free market economy. And free market economy is a capitalistic economy, and also you used certain assumptions to study those concepts. Now what we are going to see is how these tools of demand and supply, they will help us in the real life situation, because in the real life there is government intervention also in the economy, right? So how, when the government intervenes, how the prices of demand and how the price of the commodity are determined in the economy, that we will be seeing, and how it is going to, how the intervention of the government will affect the equilibrium price and quantity in the market. So the first tool that we are going to study is, that is the first concept that we will be studying is maximum price legislation, right? Maximum price legislation or price ceiling. Is that clear? And along with price ceiling, rationing. All right, is that clear? So first concept that we'll see is maximum price legislation, or we can also call it price ceiling, and along with it rationing. Okay. Now the maximum price ceiling or the price ceiling, the maximum price legislation talks about that it is known as price ceiling is the maximum legal price which the suppliers can charge for a particular good or service. We can say over here that this is the maximum limit which is fixed by the government for the product, for the certain commodities, right? So what we can say, this is in favor of the consumers, that the producers cannot charge more than this price of a commodity by the consumers. Now such price legislation have been passed in many countries. Now what happens that here in this kind of legislation is passed in order to make certain essential goods available at affordable prices, and definitely to whom? To the poor people, to the people who are living below poverty line. And in India, maximum price limit is imposed by the government on several food items in a situation of food shortage, right? So as to protect the interest of the consumers, particularly the poor consumers of the economy. In this concept, that is in price ceiling, it is generally imposed on certain essential products like wheat, rice, kerosene oil, etc. Right? Now we will be seeing it in the form of diagram, how this all will work. All right. So quantity is shown on the, usually as we show on the x-axis, and price is shown on the y-axis. We will be taking the normal equilibrium situation as we have been learning, or we have been drawing the diagram. That is P0 is the equilibrium price and Q0 is the equilibrium quantity over here, right? We have this demand curve, like this is our demand curve, right? D, and this is our supply curve. All right, S. This is our equilibrium. So this is our initial situation, right? Now suppose if the price maximum price limit is set above the equilibrium price, that is P1, right? We are just seeing the application of the tools of demand and supply, how this will work. If the limit is set above the equilibrium price, what will happen? There will emerge a situation of excess supply, right? Then the price will rise, the demand will fall to this, supply will increase to this, because higher the price, higher the supply. So there will emerge a situation of excess supply in the market. This excess supply situation will cause the demand to the price to fall, because the producer in a pressure to clear their stock, they will start reducing the price of the commodity and price will come back to A0. So this is not going to benefit the consumers in any way. They will come back over here. So what is advised or what is beneficial is that the maximum price limit must be set below the equilibrium price. Now what will happen if this is set below the equilibrium price? Just see. Suppose this is maximum price or ceiling. Alright. Now what is happening over here? We'll put certain variables here also, and the price will come back over here. This is what we mean to say over here, right? Now when the price limit is set, maximum price is set below the equilibrium price, we'll be putting it here. There will be a excess demand situation here also, right? You can see earlier the demand was this, now the demand is this, and the supply has reduced to K. So there is a excess demand situation in the economy equal to KL, or what we can say, we are putting it like that, right? This is the increased demand, we are labeling it as Q1, and this is Q, right? Supply. So what is happening? There is excess demand situation in the economy. Now excess demand means that more and the supply has reduced to Q1. The demand has increased to Q2 and supply has reduced to Q1. That means many consumers are not able to get this commodity because of shortage, right? So when the shortage will be there, the producers, this will be the overall consequence of this. Now since the commodity is limited in supply, the government has to use certain measures. The first measure that government will be using is allocation of limited supply. That is because the stock is limited and the consumers are more. But what we can see, that the deficiency, the fall in supply is this much and the increase in demand is this much, right? So the allocation of limited supply, government will be opting this, and for this we can say that there will be arising the problem of allocation of limited supply among the buyers. So since because the price is not allowed to rise above the maximum price, right? This is the price limit set by the government, and the producers, they cannot increase the price of the commodity, right? So some other method of allocation will have to be found. So the first method that the producers will be using will be first come and first serve. All right, first come and first serve. Here what will happen? The producers will be giving the commodity to those consumers who will come early, right? For this, the queues will be there, a lot of time of the consumers will be wasted. These all will be the repercussions or implications of this first come first serve method. Now in India, during the period of shortage of kerosene or petrol, onions, etc., this system was launched. However, this system will lead to long queues. This is implication of the system, as people will rush to those stores which have the stock of the commodity, right? People have to waste a lot of time in standing in the queues. Now those who are early arrivals, Those who will come early to the shop, they will get the commodity. Rest of the people will not be getting the commodity. This is first. Then the second is allocation or distribution by seller's preference. Right? Seller's preference. What will happen over here? That the sellers may sell the scarce product only to regular customers, right? So what is happening over here? We are seeing the implications of this maximum price legislation. And the last is rationing, and that is the most important measure which is adopted in our country also. Rationing. What is rationing? Most often adopted method is that of rationing by the government. Rationing is a system of distribution of a specified quantity of a product at the price fixed by the government. We are well aware of this method, where the government issues the ration cards to the people who belong to below poverty line, BPL families, right? So government fixes a limited amount, a limited quantity of the commodity for each family as per the number of members of the family. Right, so this is what happens. For instance, in India, BPL families are issued ration cards which enable them to purchase wheat, rice, etc. at the prices fixed by the government. This is the third method. Now, the repercussion of this third method, that is rationing, is emergence of black marketing. These go together. Whenever there is rationing in the country, black marketing has to happen, right? And black marketing is kya? Black market is a market in which goods are sold illegally at prices higher than a legally fixed price by the government. So here what happens? It is an interesting commentary on human nature, that whenever price ceiling and rationing have been introduced in India especially, there has been emerged some sort of black market. So this is all about, this is the practical implication of the tools of demand and supply. And when government intervenes in this system, what are the repercussions or implications? Actually, these are the implications or effects. Implications or effects of maximum price legislation. Understood? The second concept in the same area is minimum price legislation. That was maximum price legislation. This is minimum price legislation. That was price ceiling, and this is floor price. So this is opposite. This is contrary to what you have learned previously before this, right? Now, minimum price legislation or floor price is the price at which the sellers, they may sell a particular good or service. So you can well understand by the definition that earlier the concept was in the favor of consumers, and this concept is in the favor of suppliers or the producers. Such a price is also known as floor price or minimum support price. Now this price benefits the supplier of a good or service, right? Because the floor price is fixed to assure that the producers, they are getting a remunerative price for their good or service. Now the floor price will motivate the producers. This is the benefit to the producers, to the economy as well. The floor price will motivate the producers to produce more by ensuring that they will get a minimum reasonable price for their product, right? For example, in India, the government fixes minimum prices of agricultural goods, right, like wheat and rice, etc. So, and also the minimum wages that are paid to the laborers. So they get the minimum support price or minimum remunerative price for their services or the goods that they are supplying to the economy. Now let us see the presentation of the same in the diagram and how it works. Again, we will start from the center position, that is P0 price and Q0 is the quantity, that is our equilibrium situation. This is our demand curve and this is our, let us extend it more so that we can study better, right? So this is our demand, this is our demand curve, this is our supply curve, and this is equilibrium. Now suppose the floor price is set below the equilibrium price. This is our equilibrium price. If the floor price is set below the equilibrium price P1, what will happen? P0. What will happen? There will emerge a situation of, we'll be naming it as GH, and the situation of excess demand will be created in the market. Can you see that? Right? There is excess demand because earlier the demand was here. Now the demand is equal to, we can say, the demand is Q2. All right, and so there is a situation of excess demand over here. Now what will happen if the situation of excess demand is there? The shortage is there in the economy, so the producers, they will be forced to increase the price of the commodity, and the price will go back and they will come over here, right? They will again reach back to the equilibrium price. So there is no benefit to the suppliers. It is advisable and it is beneficiary for the producers, because it is for the benefit of the suppliers only, that the minimum price legislation or minimum price is fixed above the equilibrium price. Minimum price or floor price. All right, it is good if it is set above the equilibrium price. Now what will happen over here? Here also excess supply situation will emerge equal to KL, right? A situation of excess supply will emerge equal to KL. You can see over here, right? Now when the excess supply will be there, what will happen? Now the demand is over here. This is our demand, new demand now. This was our earlier demand, right? Now this is our new demand, and the supply, it has come to, the supply earlier was this and now it is this. So the excess supply situation will be created in the market, and what will happen? The suppliers will not be able to clear their entire stock. Okay? So just to repeat once again, when the price was below equilibrium price, there was a situation of excess demand equal to GH. Demand was this, supply was this, right? This was the demand at P1 price, right? Excess demand again pushes the pressure on the producers, they reduces the price, and the price comes back to equilibrium. So it is advisable always, or it is always recommended that the minimum price must be set above the equilibrium price. What happens when the minimum price is above the equilibrium price? There is a situation of excess supply equal to KL in the market. You can see over here. The supply was this, now this is the supply, the demand was, now the demand is this. This is the new demand at P2 price, because as the price rises, the demand falls. Alright, so this is the new demand. Now when there is excess supply in the market, many the suppliers are not able to clear their stock of the commodity. So what they will do, some of them, they will flout the law and they will sell the commodity at a low price. Alright, this is one thing. The other effects of this kind of legislation is, first, the fixing of a minimum prices causes a surplus of the commodity. Where is the surplus? This is the surplus of the commodity. Do you get that? Excess supply is there because the demand has become now this, the supply is this. So there is excess surplus of the supply in the market equal to this, right? It causes a surplus of the commodity while the producers get a higher price. Earlier they were getting it, now they are getting this. The producers would be able to get a higher price, OP2, than the equilibrium price, and the actual quantity bought and sold will fall to OQ1. Whatever is supplied in the market, that will be bought and sold. So actual quantity bought and sold will be equal to OQ1, that is lower than the equilibrium quantity. This is the equilibrium quantity, lower than the equilibrium quantity, right? Some producers will be finding it difficult to dispose of their stock and at the legally fixed price, so they will, in desperate effort to overcome this, the problem of unsold stock, they will flout the law and they will sell the commodity at a lower price. This is the first implication. And second is, in order to maintain the minimum price, the government generally purchases the surplus stock of product which remains unsold at the minimum support price from the producers. I hope you got it, that the surplus stock is purchased by the government at the prices fixed, minimum price fixed by the government in order to support the producers, right? And for example, in India, government has pursued a minimum support price in case of agricultural products many a times. And what does government do? The government builds the buffer stock of food grains in India by procuring surplus food grains from the farmers at the minimum support price. I hope it is understood to you all. The government uses this surplus stock in order to maintain a buffer stock by purchasing this stock from the farmers at this price which is fixed by the government, and government uses this buffer stock at the time of need in the economy, at the time of shortage. To sum up, we can say that price ceiling is the maximum price limit that we have studied earlier, and to be effective and meaningful, the price ceiling must be fixed below the equilibrium price. That was about the first one. And on the other hand, floor price is the minimum price limit of a commodity or service, and it is invariably fixed higher than the equilibrium price. With it all, the chapter is finished.